Well, some of the crowd are on the pitch. Well, some of the crowd are on the pitch. They think it's all over. But it is now.
Good evening. Hello, thank you for joining us and welcome to Some People on the Pitch end of season party. Woo! Woo! It's our Mad Monday on a Wednesday. So, that's the Premier League over, boys, for another year. What a year it was. Bit of a damp squib on the last day because of Istanbul, but still, you join us today on a very special edition of Some People Are on the Pitch because it's our inaugural Some People Are on the Pitch award ceremony. Forget the PFAs, forget the Writers Association and the Ballon d'Or. These are the awards that everyone wants to win. Also, if you stay with us, we'll be flying over to Brazil and having a look at the England squad, picking our World Cup second teams, and then right at the end be doing a bit of a England quiz, which after the club quiz last week, a few of my panellists are a bit shaky about. Speaking of panellists, let me introduce them. I'll start as I always do at centre-back with our resident L'Enfant Terrible. He's hotter than an Alan Pardew technical area touch map. He's angrier than a Tim Sherwood Gillet discard. It's our very own Mario Samatelli, Sam Connolly. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Just back from the Etihad.
I am still fit.
You had a good time.
Yeah,
Met Liam
still
Gallagher.
A bit rough from it. Met Liam Gallagher.
You fed the goat.
Fed the goat.
Did he score?
Of course he did.
Right, now I go over to the left wing, and the man who is always at work, bringing us that certain je ne sais quoi. He's out next week in the cinema in the X-Men as Ticket Man. He is more to the left than everything Beyonce owns in a box. It is producer Payne Dog Payne. Good evening, Payne.
Evening.
Oh, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. A little stressed.
A little stressed. He's having he's always working. It's never his fault. Right. Finally, I move on to our star striker and only 100% record at Some People Are Here on the Pitch. I'm happy to report he's still the best looking man in the room, bringing a bit of va-va-voom to proceedings. It's Barry Bond, James Bond, Brosnan.
Brosnan.
Yeah. Oh no! I even got the James Bond thing to prevent me from doing that.
Right, Bobby.
Old habits died. Sorry, Barry, how are you? Alright?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks.
And now you can email us. Believe it or not, we've got an email at Some People Are on the Pitch. You can email us at peopleonthepitch@gmail.com if you want to give us some feedback on the show, ideas you'd like to try, or you just want a signed picture of Barry. Please, we'd love to hear from you.
Headshots only.
So, now, it's time for the Some People Are on the Pitch Awards. And before we start the awards, we've got a little bit of award music.
Oh, yeah. Slick
as...
We are live in London. Get this down for the inaugural Some People Are on the Pitch Awards. Here is your host, Bobby Hirst. Right, wow. Thanks for that, announcer man. Here we are at the awards.
Audience,
In front of our live studio audience. Payne Dog's worn a suit for this special event.
No tie.
No tie, he's gone casual. He's had a few G&Ts. Right, so
party?
before we proceed with the awards and who's won what, the wonderful Barry has written you an end of season poem to recap, if you will, what went on. And he's about to recite it for us now.
That's right. You won't get Jamie Carragher or Gary Neville doing this.
Exactly. You don't get poem reviews on Sky Sports or that thing you listen to, Payne Dog.
Football Weekly.
Football Weekly. Where's your poem, Football Weekly?
Yeah.
Calling them out like the Spice Girls and Liam Gallagher. Right, Buzz.
Right.
After you, please.
I'm going to play the sad music just because I think it's
Okay.
just because we can.
Because we love the sad music.
And I feel like we have to fit it in somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright.
It's a bit depressing for the end of the season.
Yeah, it's a bit depressing actually. Maybe I won't play it.
Yeah.
No sad music.
No sad music.
No, I'm just gonna own it with my own voice.
Yeah.
Right, my poem for the Barclays Premier League 2013/2014. Top of the table to 7th in the league. David's ginger hair goes grey with fatigue. Planes flying high, morale an all-time low. The blue side of Manchester has an almighty glow. Scousers elated and believed in their team. Gerrard slipped over and shattered the dream. Mourinho's horses bolted the stable, arousing team talk from the masseuse table. 30 goals short to win the title again. Bar and Eto with the scrap heap from Spain. 100 million got AVB his P45. Chris Hughton couldn't keep the Canaries alive. Solskjaer and Felix continued the cycle, and Al Fayed walked off with the statue of Michael. Cardiff came up feeling red, but went down feeling blue, like a knockout headbutt from Alan Pardew. Hull City's Tigers never got to roar, but the Potters finally got the ball on the floor. Aladice's belly laugh, Punchin's penalty groans, Roberto's success with his trio of loans. A Crystal Palace point more prominent than a Sherwood Gillet. Arsenal pay 42 million for a trophy in May. Pochettino's boys did ever so well. The baggy said bye to Clark, adios to Mel. Lerner's packed up his villa and took all his things. Now starts optimism and hope. Let's see what the next season brings.
Very good, very good. I've got one gripe.
I went bury that in the middle.
That was brilliant, Barry. Thanks.
Very good. I've got one gripe.
Go on.
Hull might beat Arsenal this Saturday.
Well, there is.
So they paid 42 million just to win a trophy. Let's just
I think Barry might be trying to get himself a transfer to a better podcast. Been tapped up. Anyway,
Colin Murray, I'm free.
Colin. Right, so the awards, welcome, and we're going to start with Player of the Season award. No Yaya, no Suarez, just to make it interesting, because let's be honest, they were the best two players by a fair while, we'd say. And each of my panellists is going to present their case for who they think is their Player of the Season, not Yaya, not Suarez. And I think we'll start with Sam. Who's your Player of the Season?
I'm going to pick Gerrard, because I think he's had a bit of a turbulent season, end of the season even, but the rest of the season is played superbly. He's had arguably the best season.
Slotted into a new role under Rodgers.
Into a new role, and he's done.
Scored some important goals as well.
He's got 13 assists.
That's
13 goals.
That's not a bad return for a deep line midfielder as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Although how many of them are penalties?
He nearly got a hat-trick of penalties at Old Trafford.
10 penalties.
10 penalties.
10
of 13 goals.
13 goals, yeah.
Well, it's hard to see, you know what I mean? He's only taken 11.
I'm talking about when you watch, especially, I did, even being, obviously I wanted City to win, but watching Liverpool try effectively win the title, do you know what, I probably would, obviously, second Liverpool win the title. And watching Gerrard play, his passion for the club, passion, pure English passion. I just feel, and when he passes the ball, you can't help but when you're watching him live or when you're watching him, just seeing him, it's majestic. The way that he passes ball is brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Techers.
And I think he just, had a really good game. I mean, you compare him to the likes of Silva, who got 7 goals and 9 assists. And I think is the 13 assists, is that second to no, it's first, wasn't it?
Well, it's not a bad return, is it? Whatever it is.
I think it was first in the assists.
Yeah, no, it was because he got 2 on the last day.
Yeah.
2 on the last day from 2 free kicks.
So yeah, mine's Gerrard.
Gerrard, lovely. Steven Gerrard, everybody. Barry, who's your Player of the Season? Not Yaya, not Suarez.
No, not Yaya, not Suarez. And Gerrard is still a bit of an obvious choice. He's third. He'll be
The
third.
gloves are off. Mad Monday, everyone's had a few.
Well, we played the East. It's take. Obviously, I'm not going to pick not the player.
It's alright. If Sam wants Gerrard, he wants Gerrard. Barry, you want
go for you.
Okay.
Go on.
I'm going for general consistency over the season. I'm going for the New England hopeful Adam Lallana.
Adam Lallana.
Yeah.
Rubbish.
With 9 goals, not all from open play, no penalties.
No,
Lambert's
that's
a penalty
Lambert's
taker,
job.
so 9 from open play and 8 assists. I think now he's just played himself into the England team.
He's definitely gone from maybe peripheral, will he get on the plane, to how are we going to get him to start?
Yeah, how we go now? Yeah, now we're looking at ways to fit him into the England squad.
Where would you fit him into the England squad?
I think I'd put him on the left. Him and Sterling.
The dreaded left.
The dreaded
Get him on the dreaded left. Anyway, back to Lallana. Why do you?
I've done the same thing.
Yeah.
Is there many moments from the season that you can pick out where you were like, yeah, that's where he's come of age or anything, or are you just saying it's over the whole season?
Come off what you ready in the evening standard tonight, right?
Give us a bit more time with that one.
It's alright, Adam Lallana.
He's just been consistent. Like he started the season well, and everyone thought he was going to die off and slip away. But
What
he's
about
just
that
stronger.
goal in that match that time?
Yeah, no, the one he scored against Chelsea. That was a good goal. When he went past about 3 players.
No, he scored a few good goals, and some of his assists were like kung fu assists as well.
Yeah.
And like quite smart, nice assists. Adam Lallana. Now, producer Payne Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got my full undivided attention.
Thank you. Who's your player of the season?
But I mean, as you say, Yaya and Suarez clearly by far and away blew this season away. And actually, for me, I mean, the sheer joy of watching Suarez was fantastic, but just watching Yaya and just that sort of, he could do it whenever, and you kind of got that feeling that he just turned it on whenever he wanted, and it was amazing.
Fantastic.
He's insane.
Sitting on the floor most of the time as well.
Both of them, by far and away, I think above the lot. But after them, 2 great players already gone. I've got Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney. Wazza.
Yeah. I mean, Man United had a terrible season by every account. Absolutely dire.
I don't think you'll find too many people.
But out of that terrible season, one player that has stood out for them, they've been playing awful, they've not been making goals. Wayne Rooney still scored 17 goals in the league. Without him, they'd have been in trouble.
And he's been injured this
He's been injured a bit as well,
but...
yeah. And he seems to be really sort of in good form. Help keep the side in contention for that, spot that they just missed out in the Europa League.
Yeah.
I think it was the shining light in Man United's season, and it's good for England.
Yeah.
And he's also off the field managed to get himself a spanking new contract worth the best part of oodles of money and a say in transfers. Whether that'll still stick around once Van Gaal gets in, I would like to see.
Have you
We've
noticed
got-
we've
Van
all
Gaal
picked
comes in and we're down with,
3 English players as well?
Yeah.
That's because the 2 foreigners were out of the equation.
We'll take the 2 foreigners out. Oh, now I've got to decide, and boys, that one is...
It's a shame Aguero didn't get injured because I think he'd have been right.
Yeah, he's like he's a sports car though, and you take him out for a spin and then he breaks down. You have to put him back in garage for 8 months before you wheel him back out. Aguero sports car. Anyway, Sergio, get yourself fit, mate. We'd love to see more of you. I've got to pick a winner: Rooney, Lallana, and Gerrard.
It's obviously Lallana.
It's got to be Gerrard.
I think I'm going to give it to Gerrard. I think Lallana. I think, and Lallana were in my fantasy football team, and he did nothing for about 5 weeks at the end, and I'm still a little mad at him about that. I took him out eventually, but Adam, come on.
I'm sure
Payne,
Wayne Rooney did the same thing.
Rooney actually made me lose my mini league, so Rooney's gone. Gerrard is our player of the season. No Yaya, no Toure. Now, we move on next to Manager of the Year. We're not taking any managers out of this one, it's just straight up Manager of the Year. And we started with, you went last, Payne, last time, so I'm going to ask you to go first here, please.
First, Manager of the Year. I think there's a few in contention, but I've gone for Tony Pulis.
Alright, Tony Pulis.
Yeah? Tony Pulis, left Stoke, was sort of seen as this guy. He'd keep your team in the league. He'd play hoofball, Pulis ball over the top. That was all he'd do. And it'd keep you in the league. You'd have, Crouchy putting them in. And, Palace were rooted to the bottom of that Premier League table.
And when you say rooted, they were oak tree rooted.
Yeah. They were big roots. It was a nice fart there by sound. Does that count for the swear box?
Yeah, sport relief swear box fine.
You're kidding me.
Because flatulence has got to be in there.
Flatulence is
You don't have to suffer it, listeners, but
Payne Dog does.
Oh,
Yeah.
just ruined my
Oh,
Friday.
right.
It's fine. Luckily, you're going on about Tony Pulis.
Tony Pulis, so he came into Palace and most people had written them off, and he just stuck that rudder in and turned that massive juggernaut that is Crystal Palace around.
Oh, Payne Dog, you love a metaphor.
It was like turning a battleship, and it took time, but he got it done. And what style he did it in as well. It wasn't the Pulis ball we all knew. He was playing football. It was solid defence, which is what Pulis is renowned for as well. But it was, and the Palace fans as well added to it. We were saying earlier, absolutely fantastic.
They were great. I mean, when I saw them in the Etihad Stadium, they didn't stop singing 1 second. And I came away thinking, brilliant fans.
Yeah.
Still says CAC on the shirts, though.
Why
does it say that?
Tony Pulis.
Tony Pulis, big TP. Tony Pulis for England. Right, I'll go to Barry next, who I know you were going to also say Pulis as well.
I thought Pulis did all right. Yeah, well done, Payne. But I'm going to go for. Let's just wind our thoughts back to the start of the season and where we all thought Liverpool were going to finish, and they're scraping to get into the top 4.
I was thinking about it at the start of the season. You just said Liverpool and Arsenal were your 2 favourites not to finish in the top 4 when the season started.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think it's credit to Brendan Rodgers, who's my choice, in that towards the end of the season their expectation grew, and we sort of forget about where they were last season, where their expectations were at the start of the season. And as much as Pulis did a great job, I just think tactically Brendan Rodgers showed himself an inept, very cool manager, right? And just tactically got getting the best out of all of his players.
I know what you mean.
Providing the spine of the England team now.
Yeah, true.
Got Jordan Henderson playing well.
I think it'll be interesting to see how Rodgers gets on with a transfer window, because he was lucky, I think, he's inherited a Gerrard, a Suarez, Henderson was already there.
And bought an Espas.
Yeah, and some of Brendan Rodgers'
his signings weren't good
great
last year.
Coutinho, he
bought an Espas and sent Barini out, and sent Barini out on loan.
Well, that's what you'd argue. That's what loans are for. Barini will probably be back.
But you'd rather this season you'd rather have had Barini on your bench than Espas. They were bringing Espas on in key games at the end of this season. And
Well, remember, he'll have more of a pulling power this year as well. I think
he's going to have a
he'll
lot to
upgraded
spend.
his scouts at least.
Brendan Rodgers. Sam, who's your manager of the year?
Well, it was a close one because I, as well as Barry, did think that Rodgers had a great year, and I liked the way he played football. Admired him completely, but obviously I'm gonna go for Pellegrini.
Pellegrini,
The unsung hero.
what a surprise!
Exactly.
Why are you going for
He's the
Pellegrini?
unsung hero. We were on top of the Premier League for
11 days.
11
Game in
days or
hands.
something.
The say
Games in hand.
Games in
Exactly,
hand.
but he put out all the fires at City that were smouldering from the end of last season. With
There seemed
Mancini.
like there was some bad blood and
There was a
stuff
lot
at
of
the end
bad blood.
the
It
season.
came out when I was at the last game of the season, which we won, by the way, guys.
I think they know.
If they're listening to this, they know.
I know. And it came out, Chappers, the kit man, he was interviewed on the pitch, and he went, and the guy went, "Are you enjoying this one?" He's like, "Yeah, hell of a lot more. I could have enjoyed it last time with Mancini." And it spoke volumes because he wasn't very liked at City basically. So Pellegrini had to do that, and he changed the way we play football. I mean, we weren't so defensive. We scored 102 goals.
That's
It was his
impressive.
first season in the league, and it's his first cup.
Yeah.
His first title. Sorry.
All true, but he's had, let's be fair, a modest budget to play with.
It's
That's
not all
what-
about
that's why
budget.
the-
It's not.
It just
I
helps.
agree with you.
No,
It helps, but you've
you've
still got to get it right.
No, it's not. Exactly. You're still going to get it right. It doesn't matter. I mean, you look at Tottenham. They spent loads of money. You can't get it right.
Yeah.
I'm
We
not
just
fair
bought, we
enough.
just bought well. It's always about budget. Don't get me started on budget.
Not to take anything away from him. You know, he's done a good job this year. He has. He's won the league and he's
Great
won the
football.
League Cup. And
Played the best football we've played in the Premier League.
I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm saying not to take it, but coming in, he was expected to do that.
It wasn't.
He was.
Well,
he
yeah,
was.
that-
Well, it was,
finished.
but it was still a gamble.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But his
It's
job
massive
remit
gamble.
will have been win the Premier League, and you can imagine he
No,
would
it
have
was to win. What was it? It was to win the Premier.
5 trophies or something
trophies
in 4 years, is it?
4 or 5 years or something like that.
So there we have it.
Two. And he won the League Cup.
Yeah, that great important League Cup that everyone wants to win.
Listen, we won
I
the
wanna kid
season.
it, I wanna
How
kid
can
it.
you not be champion?
I want to kid in.
Man,
Right,
He's getting angry.
Pellegrini.
Quick, move on.
Pellegrini, water. Pellegrini, water. That's what he should do after he retires. I'm going to give it to Pulis, that one. It's
Bollocks.
Pulis's.
Oh,
Swear bombs. That's 2. It's gonna be poor.
Sam's going to be poor.
That's not swearing, is it?
Well, we won't say it again. Just in case. Right, so, the best manager of the year. Now, we flip the coin. We go from yin to the yang. Because it's time for the worst manager of the year. So, Sam, worst manager of the year.
I'm going to go with Pardew.
Pardew. Alan Pardew.
Because of his, not necessarily because of where he finished it, not necessarily his football, his terrible behaviour on the touchline. He reminds me of a manager I used to have when I was 15 years old. Not even a manager, sorry, one of our mates, one of the players' dads.
A player's
Just
dad.
an angry man. And he,
Infamous player's dad.
infamous player's dad who everyone started a fight with when they got old enough. You know what I mean? We were taking 6 years of abuse from this guy, and then one of those guys, and abuse. It's called Pellegrini a effing old C word.
Yeah.
well covered,
So,
Sam.
He got sent off against City. Got sent off for headbutting.
Yeah.
And when he got that the ban, the 8-match ban, when he was away, the stats were they scored 2 goals, they had 1 win and conceded 21 goals.
That's not great figures
Not great figures.
by anyone's means.
Exactly.
Alan Pardew is your
And he
nomination.
could have finished, if he hadn't got sent off, he could have finished higher. So I agree with the
Stop.
Newcastle fans against him.
You want him out.
I
Payne dog.
just think, if any other business, you'd have been fired.
Maybe. Unless you were a bouncer.
Unless you're a bouncer. Or a copper.
Or a copper, yeah. Ooh, don't get MI6 on
Payne
us.
dog.
So, Payne dog,
busy.
quickly.
Yep. I'm going for Paolo Di Canio.
Paolo Di Canio.
Remember him?
Remember Paolo.
I don't remember. Who was he? Tell me about him.
Paolo took over Sunderland on the 31st of March,
Yeah.
2013. And by the 22nd of September, 2013, he'd been fired.
That's
And he spent most of that time
moaning.
on holiday in the summer.
And he's a fascist, apparently.
And he's
Yeah.
apparently a fascist. I mean, he's not a fascist, but he goes to the meetings and does the salutes after he's scored.
And I think he's got a Mussolini tattoo.
Yeah,
hasn't
and
he?
he's got a Mussolini tattoo, but allegedly a fascist. So
Politics aside.
politics aside, because it's not why you voted him the worst manager, is it?
No, it's slightly. No, it's not. 23% win rate at Sunderland. That's pretty poor.
Yeah.
That he won 3 games. He won 3 games.
Oh, how many though?
13.
She's only in 13. Well, that's how bad it must have been.
And not only that,
Games.
look at the recruits he got in the summer. He was like, I'll get my own team in and we'll be fine.
So
And it just all went to pot.
Yeah.
Like, there was like revolt by the time the season had even started.
Banned ketchup.
Like everyone was out. Everyone was like, "Nah, I'm just not doing it."
So Di Canio, that's a fairly thorough argument. Barry,
Right.
who are you going for?
I'm going for the myth, the legend that is Mr. David Moyes.
David Moyes.
It has to. If you're talking about bad managers, he has absolutely destroyed his reputation.
Yeah,
I've gone through a few stats for Paolo Di Canio. 13 records David Moyes broke while he was at United. Ready? I'll fly through these.
I'll enjoy every one of these, Barry.
First time Everton have beaten Man United home and away since 69-70. United's worst home form in over a decade.
Ooh.
First time Everton and Liverpool have both done the double over United. First time in Premier League, Man City and Liverpool have beaten United home and away. First ever home defeat to Swansea. First time United have lost 3 games in a row since 2001. First home defeat to Newcastle since 1972. First league defeat to Stoke since 1984.
What?
First home defeat to West Brom since 1978. Eliminated in the FA Cup third round, which happened once under Fergie. Failed to qualify for Champions League for the first time since 95. United are guaranteed finished their lowest ever points tally. And the first time United have ever conceded a first-minute goal in Premier League. Dzeko scored.
Best away league form.
Was the guaranteed
Best
one, was
away
that
league
true?
form, though. We should mention
Best
it.
away league form.
We should mention
Best
it. Best
away
away
league
league form.
Yeah.
Well, Barry, that's an argument there, mate. You don't need really to add anything to that. And it was... I should be impartial, but we've only got about 40 listeners. It was just so beautiful to hear that I'm going to have to give it. And it's manager of the season.
Worst
manager of the season.
And he bought Fellaini.
And he bought Fellaini.
I mean, my heart goes out to that as well, so I wouldn't mind.
That was like sweet, sweet music.
Yeah.
And who am I to stop sweet, sweet music playing? So I'm sorry, Di Canio, but you've... he survived. And David Moyes, to add to his already brilliant year, has won our worst manager of the year.
He's not here to pick up the award in person.
No, you can't accept it in person. I wanted to say something else then, but I wait. Comeback of the Year award is next. No, in fact, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's worst signing. So we've had the worst manager, worst signing. There's been some good signings. There's been some average signings. But what I want to know from you guys is the worst. So, Payne, you start us off.
So, worst signing.
Go on.
Cardiff City.
Right, we're in
Vincent Tan and Malky Mackay at the time was there. And Cornelius, I think is... Cornelius, I think is his name. I think he cost... Striker. I think it cost about... Was it 7 million, I think?
I think it was into double figures, you know. Maybe 9 or 10.
Maybe 9 or 7 or 9, I think. Is
a lot
around.
of money,
It was especially for Cardiff City. For a striker, you know, this is a guy, their hopes, you know, they say if you're going to stay up in the Premier League, you've got to have someone who's going to score goals. And this was their man. And he didn't even start.
Didn't even start.
Did he? He might have come on, but he didn't start. And then he got sent back.
What, on loan?
Yeah.
Oh my lord. Well, that's a pretty bad signing to start things off. Barry.
Yes.
Worst signing of the year.
Right. Oh God, I mean, there's quite a few. I'm gonna go. I mean, there's been a lot of bad signings.
There has this year.
Yeah, and I've been quite emotionally and personally hit by
You've
hit.
you've been hit by 7 of Spurs' finest.
But I'm gonna go just for the absolute pointlessness of it all. Kim Kallstrom.
Kim Kallstrom. Not a bad shout.
Got him injured. Wenger tries to sort of cover it over by sort of saying how much of their wages.
Well, they needed a striker, Arsenal, and they
needed a striker. They've got littered with midfielders, so he went out and bought an injured centre
midfielder. I think
32.
How many games has he played?
I think he played 3.
3.
Yeah.
Still the FA Cup final. He might
make it 4.
Might make it 4.
I mean, I suppose it might make it all worth it if he scores the winner.
So Kim Kallstrom. Lovely.
Kim Kallstrom.
Sam, worst signing?
Well, I'm going to go for Fellaini.
Fellaini.
I think from our resident David Moyes.
From 27.5 million, 19 games,
million, yeah.
No goals, 1 assist.
I think that's money well spent, don't you?
£27.5 million.
Money well spent.
Money well spent.
£27.5 million.
I know. I know.
I think
Aguero cost us 24. I think, didn't he?
no, Yaya
Aguero-
Toure costs 24.
Yeah, Toure. and
You could
Aguero's
get Yaya Toure and have some cash to, you know what I mean? Build yourself an
Yaya
house,
Toure costs 24.
a villa. You could maybe buy another small football club and run that for a few months. And you'd still not have Marouane Fellaini.
You could buy an
I
island.
think just because it goes hand in hand with Moyes that...
Just one thing to say about Cornelius. He did start, but in the League Cup.
Alright.
Only ever made sub appearances. And he was sold back to his other
How much
club.
for?
They didn't. It was undisclosed, but they lost most of the money that they paid for him.
Oh my
Have
lord.
they sold him back?
Yeah, back to FC Copenhagen.
Yes.
What about your one for? Oh, who was it? You on about? You sent it on the WhatsApp. Good.
Insightful.
Can't remember it.
Oh, never mind. Right, so, well, I think...
Arsenal player who's at Barnet and got released.
Oh,
Frimpong,
Emmanuel
yeah.
Frimpong.
That's the one.
Brilliant.
Frimpong, but...
Went from was sold from Arsenal to Barnsley. Had a brilliant debut. Got sent off, and
It's been released.
had a terrible season
And
and,
they've
got
gone down.
released by
Had to
Barnsley.
go at Mourinho.
But just before we got released, he was on Twitter having a go at Mourinho when they got knocked out by Atletico, going ha 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 blah blah blah, and just where's he coming next? Dench.
I don't know. I'm not going to get it to Frimpong because Barnsley aren't in the Premier League. But,
Cornelius scored a hat trick in his first game back at Copenhagen.
well, he sounds like he's good then, and he's relegated Cardiff for no good reason. But I'm going to get it Fellaini. Moyes and Fellaini, double up, you know what I mean? They can give each other a lift down tonight from the awards. So now, it's red card of the year. Who got the best red card? I don't know. There's no criteria for this really. Just maybe your favourite, the worst challenge you saw, what you thought was the most out of order, the funniest. Best red card of the year. Barry, we'll start with you.
I've gone down the comedy value for this one, and I've gone for Andre Mariner's apparent lack of visual...
Mistaken
identity. Yeah.
I don't think there's much else it could have been.
Sending off Oxlade-Chamberlain.
No, he
when
sent off
really-
Gibbs, didn't
Sent
he?
Sent
off
off
Gibbs.
Gibbs when really it was Oxlade-Chamberlain.
You see, it's easily
easily
done,
done.
Barry. It's easily
But they're
done.
not there right in front of me. So,
That's true.
Absolutely sending off the
It was
completely
ridiculous.
the wrong person.
And
It was
also
just ridiculous.
Chamberlain coming up, and it was me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Telling
yeah,
them
it
it
was
was
that.
him, and Mariner being like, no, I know what you're like, Ox.
Don't
Yeah,
try and fool me.
You lying little toe rag.
Yeah, long surname Git. Right. So, lovely. Mariners, well, Kieran Gibbs
Kieran Gibbs,
received
yeah,
a red
that's
card.
Gibbs.
Kieran Gibbs. Sam.
I was just going to go for a recent one with Shirley Amiobi last weekend with the. He got subbed on, didn't he, as well?
No, he started.
He did
And
start.
it was
the two descents.
two
I
descents
can't
within
remember the last
about
time I've seen
30 seconds of each
within
other.
30 seconds, yeah.
That's his
So-
last game for Newcastle as well, isn't it?
And his last game
He's
for
leaving.
Newcastle.
His contract's up in the summer.
So, yeah, I can't remember the last time I was... When was the last... Do you remember two descents being a red card?
Probably Roy Keane.
It's probably right. Di Canio could have come up there as well.
It's quite hard to do.
It is hard to do, and,
You know-
and very funny for a May neutral. I mean, I didn't watch it because I was at the game, but yeah.
Bearing
see
in mind that they were still showing replays of the goal. So
Yeah.
by the time the cameras came back, you just saw Shoney
Trotting
walking
off.
off the pitch.
You're like, hold on a minute.
What? He's just been sent off. Was he done?
So that's mine, yeah.
Shola Amiobi. Payne Dog.
Yeah, I'm keeping it in the tune, and it's Alan Pardew for his massively unnecessary, weak, just footballing pointless headbutt on
It wasn't very
Myler.
much a football headbutt.
I'm like, just the guy. What's he thinking?
My favourite bit about the Alan Pardew thing was when he came out afterwards and he was like, oh yeah, well he got in my face and I was trying to push him away.
Yeah.
Alan, if you're trying to push someone, mate, use your arms.
Yeah.
Use your arms. You've got a lot more control than your head.
And you might not be mistaken for headbutting them.
Yeah, I was trying to get him away from me. So
it was terrible. The only thing that was good about that was the fact that Myler didn't start rolling around, play acting, sort of couldn't really believe it himself, and actually
just wagged a finger,
conducted himself in a rather, and then celebrated the week after with a goal and a brilliant celebration.
More on that later. Well, that was red card of the year. I think I'm going to give it to Kieran Gibbs just because it's infamous. It'll go down in history. That you know
it'll be
what
in
I
the
mean.
bloopers. It'll be definitely.
Kieran Gibbs, red card of the year. Now the Le Sulk Award for sulking. Yeah, everyone likes a good sulk, but these nominations like it more than others. Payne Dog, who have you gone for?
Manuel Pellegrini.
Oh yeah, Sam's ears have pricked, but he'll listen to your argument before he before he gets mad. I hope.
Before I start, Pellegrini, or more like before Sam hits me, Pellegrini, I think, has conducted himself in
impeccable order,
in a brilliant fashion this season. I think he's been, apart from his hoodie moment, he's been, he's done a really good job. He's not been part of these raising to the mind games. He's not been like Mourinho. Well, no one's like
He's
Mourinho.
been poked by Mourinho, yeah.
But that outburst after the game in Europe about the referee
being Swedish,
because he shouldn't have been reffing as he was Swedish or whatever. That was ridiculous.
That was a bit of a bad.
It was a bad day.
If he wanted to say something like that, he could have just said that referee was rubbish.
Yeah.
Not because he's Swedish.
No.
Just because he was a rubbish referee. Probably would have been better than trying to find. Maybe it was a translation.
We all know there's a massive hatred between Chileans and the Swedish.
There was a massive war in the 1700s
we
between
all
Chile
know.
and Sweden. It got nasty, Larry. It got very nasty.
So let him alone.
Pellegrini. Sam. Le Sulk of the Year award for sulking.
I'm just going for this one because it was off the top of my head. It annoyed me on the day it happened. It was Graham Souness talking on Sky after City beat Palace and Chelsea beat Liverpool.
Oh yeah, go on.
He was talking a load of nonsense, basically licking Liverpool. I don't mind going to licking Liverpool.
Just
But,
we know what you mean there. Don't worry.
And he was saying stuff like City didn't make a statement by our 2-1 win against Palace.
Yeah.
And it's like we haven't been making a statement.
Well, what did he say after Istanbul then?
Eh?
What did Graham Souness say after Istanbul if City were making not making a statement by winning at Palace?
Well, I don't know. What do you mean?
Well, you know what I mean. It's just he was like, "Oh, City aren't making a statement if they're beating Palace at Palace 2-1, and then the following
Liverpool
week,
Crystal Palace.
Oh right, yeah,
Liverpool drew 3-3. So
no, exactly. That's the thing. That's
I know it was Monday Night Football. So
Is that what they're calling it, Cristambul, after the European Cup?
That threw me right off track. I was struggling to keep up with it.
I've heard it before. I've heard them say it's very
Istanbul.
similar to their winning.
I get it now, but you just
Sorry, boys. I thought everyone had seen that. Istanbul in reverse.
Yeah.
Istanbul.
Basically, he was
Amazing.
just
Without the
making
penalties.
stupid pundit points that he just didn't make any sense.
Soon as we're a bit too much of a Liverpool fan.
He was a very
Basically.
yeah. Bit like me now.
Yeah, I was going to say. Pot calling kettle black. Maybe a little bit. Barry, who's your Le Sulk award for sulking?
Well, I mean, the category is named after this guy. He is the original sulker. It's Mr. Nicholas Anelka.
The original, and in your opinion, still the best.
Still the best. I mean, he's worked hard at being a good sulker.
He does it well.
This season, he has not let us down.
He's not.
Not only was he such a poor side
He's on
anyway.
double time.
Yeah, scored a hat-trick in one game, and
Yeah,
then
he
suddenly...
scored a brace in that game that he...
did
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Did
So it's
it?
his only goals that he scored in
For West Brom.
For West Brom, and his
Then
celebration,
Yeah.
and then tried to say no, it was in support of his mate.
Yeah.
Then-
Who turned out to be a massive fascist.
Then got suspended, and so we took to Twitter and she went, "Well, I don't want to play for you anyway."
Yeah.
West Brom just went, "No, we're not having that. You're sacked."
Well, he was sacked before that,
Well,
wasn't he?
it was one of them.
It was one of them. He said
It was
it.
where I break up with you. No, I broke.
No,
you
no,
can't
I
break-
broke up with
Yeah,
you.
I broke
Yeah.
up with you first.
Then he
I'm
signed-
leaving. I'm leaving on my own terms.
Did you hear that he signed for Atletico
Atletico
Mineiro?
Mineiro.
Yeah.
But never turned up. Rescheduled 3 times and then just never turned up.
It's because he was crying, he was sulking.
He was sulking.
He went off to the Far East.
It's got to go to
He's
Anelka.
with Di somewhere.
It's got to go to Anelka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Worst sign. Well, yeah.
The sulk.
The Sulk Award for sulking, Nicholas Anelka. Right, we're going to rattle through these now, because I'm tired of doing it. Worst sacking of the year.
Moyes.
Moyes.
For everyone else. Agent Moyes doing a job for every one of us.
Nice.
Moyes, worst sacking of the year. Worst manager of the year. Can he win the double?
Of course.
Payne?
Di Canio.
Why is it the
Worst
worst sacking of the year?
Just because. I've got that one wrong. I've written it down next to the wrong thing.
Payne is on the wrong award.
Move on.
Right, Barry?
I'm going with Cardiff.
Cardiff.
There was an outcry when they sacked Malky Mackay.
Basically relegated themselves.
Basically...
Self-relegating powers.
Yeah.
I've got my worst sacking.
Right, he's found it now.
I found it. That will answer to the next question. But Brian McDermott.
Oh yeah, Brian McDermott at Leeds. We're making a special compensation. Or
Brian
something.
McDermott is possibly the only manager who's been sacked and then seen out the rest of the season.
Well done, Brian.
Cellino bought the club, hadn't bought the club, sent his mate, this lawyer, who then wrote a letter on Leeds-headed paper, sacked McDermott before he even bought the club. Then then GFH and Hay ran around trying to get him back. They had a game. This was all the night before a game.
I attended this game.
We had a game, no manager. But 10 minutes before kick-off, everyone's like, they've got McDermott back. McDermott's back. He'd not been sacked. This man had never been sacked, but was sacked, and has seen it, and he's still Leeds manager. Maybe not by the time you're listening to this, but he is now.
So the worst sacking of the season was the sacking
That
never was.
Yeah.
I think just because I might have a little soft spot.
I'd say Di Canio, obviously.
Oh,
sorry.
Everyone,
Oh,
well, everyone stop saying Paolo Di Canio. What is wrong with you people?
It's confusing now. Very confused me with him saying, I thought we were on the next one.
Worst, whatever that was, Payne, Brian McDermott won it. Right, we're gonna.
I think we all know who we're going to say this
It's the only
time.
thing Leeds are going to win.
We're going to skip through a few awards. We're going to miss goal and match because there's plenty of time. Best goal with Kasami's anyway, won it, Sam. That's what I'd have gone with.
I'd gone with Kasami as well.
Class goal.
Great goal on the run.
So now it's time for that moment in the award ceremony where we give the Lifetime Achievement contribution, outstanding contribution to Some People Are on the Pitch award. There's only one nominee this year. It's Tim Sherwood. Whether it be delays, whether it be doing whatever he wants in the technical area, whether it be in the stands, whether it be
letting whoever he wants in the
players,
technical area,
getting fans into technical areas, dropping Sandro,
having a go at anyone he possibly can, including the people who employ him,
comparing himself to a supply teacher. Awesome, what a guy. Been treated horribly at Spurs, but you know what I mean. He's got himself another job, and he's given us many highlights this season.
Yeah.
And it's almost been like a soap. Tim Sherwood, you win the Special Outstanding Contribution Award. Maybe we could write to Tim Sherwood and he could come and accept it. He's got nothing to do.
Yeah, it's free now.
Barry, you're a big Spurs fan. Get your word
touch.
to the ground.
I think I know Gilet Maker.
Gilet maker. Right. So now it's time for the big one. As you know, or probably don't, every week we do Frank the Plank, where we discuss that week's who is the Frank the Plank, basically, and my panellists all give me one example and I pick the best. But now it's time for the worst Frank the Plank of the season. It's a massive award, it's the biggest one of the night, and it's the last award you'll be pleased to hear. So, Payne Dog.
Yeah.
Frank the Plank for the season.
Well,
who is it?
There's a few contenders, but I have gone for Daniel Levy.
Daniel Levy.
The chairman of Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, you've got to look at Tottenham's season. It's gone through two managers.
Two exciting young managers when they arrived.
and I think as AVB, like, he's doing pretty well out in Russia, isn't he?
He hasn't lost yet.
Yeah.
Has he not?
Yeah.
And he's getting a payoff from Chelsea and Spurs.
Yeah.
Nice.
And probably still Chelsea.
Nice. If I was a woman, AVB would be on my hit list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Good luck
and
to
not
him.
only that, they've and also he sacked Tim Sherwood, best percentage win rate of any
Spurs
manager in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Sacked him. And maybe it was the Gillet. But basically, how much did they spend in the summer last year?
A lot.
I mean, they sold Bale for an astronomical fee.
You are losing Bale though.
You lost Bale.
They lost their best player.
Yeah,
by
they did.
a mile.
But if you've got 100 million to spend,
Don't buy Solano
well,
or Chadley.
That-
By 3
and that.
brilliant
What was it?
players.
Who was it?
That's
I can't
what you need to
remember. Who can't remember who said it, but it was. They said at the time, it's like we've sold Elvis, but
Garth
we've,
Crooks.
they've bought the
Garth
Beatles.
Crooks.
And
Sold Elvis but bought the Beatles, but it turned out he'd bought
The
the
bootleg
Wombles.
yeah,
All the bootleg Beatles. Insert your line and use the joke.
bootleg
word.
Beatles are actually good.
Yeah, the bootleg Beatles are really good.
Yeah,
True.
so for me, just terrible.
Cool.
Right.
Frank the Plank, right, that's your nomination. Sam?
Well, Barry's already pretty much covered him. I'm just going to go with Anelka for being a div.
Anelka, he has had a spectacular year of planking,
Is that
and he
right?
won an actual Frank
did,
the
yeah.
Plank in the week.
Yeah.
So you've just lifted him, really. He's just,
Yeah.
racist and lazy.
Yeah.
A great combination. Barry, Frank the Plank of the season.
For the whole season, I have gone with the pantomime villain himself, Mr. Vincent Tan.
Vincent Tan.
Changes Cardiff's colours to red for good luck. Not that much good luck now when they're getting relegated. Makes possibly the worst decision in getting rid of Mackay. Gets in Solskjaer. Wears his football shirt on top of his suit.
Those dark black glasses.
Really dark black glasses.
The gloves.
Ridiculously high
Booms
waistbands.
when his team goes
Booms.
1-0
I
down.
know, but like when
I'm
they
so
score,
lonely.
yeah, when they score, he acts as if they've won the league. He
He
just
does.
starts running around and he's like taking the plaudits himself.
It's
like,
as if he
doing
doesn't
Queen's
quite
Way.
understand football yet. It's like, we scored, we win. No, Vincent, you don't win.
How quick do you when he leaves that club, which is probably going to be, I don't think he's going to stick around for a long time, they'll go back to blue straight away.
Yeah.
Straight away. It's
Yeah.
just pointless. Them even
Well, he said if they get promoted again, he might consider changing it back to blue.
Yeah,
That's a lie.
I'll think about it. It's
Yeah.
like, Mum, if I'm really good, can I have a PlayStation? I'll think about it, Bobby. Oh, like that. So, I think it's got. Who do we think? I'll let us all vote because I've decided them all. Who out of them three boys?
I like Tan, Vincent Tan.
I think it's got to be Vincent Tan, don't you, Payne Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can go
Vincent
with that.
Tan. So,
You should never change the club's colours. That's simple. You know?
yeah. Vincent Tan, you are the Frank the Plank of the Year award. We're all standing.
Well done, Vince.
Right. Well, we're getting. Oh, that's the end of the Premier League. Goodbye, Premier League. There it went.
Bye.
There we go.
We're getting on a plane now to
the end of
Brazil.
That's the end of the awards.
Oh yeah, end of the awards.
End of the awards from Brazil.
That was lovely.
Now we're off on a
Now
jet
we're off on a
plane.
plane.
On a plane.
Coming at you live, recorded from Brazil.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We're on a beach. We're in the Amazon.
Right.
There we are.
Now here we go. Oh, the ladies, they're so beautiful.
Here we are on Copacabana Beach.
Bobby's got his maracas out.
It's us four in Rio de Janeiro Airport with a night football.
Right. So the first thing we like to do
We're all
at
doing
World
kick- we're all
Cup,
doing
some
kick-ups,
people
by
are on
the
the
way,
pitch, is pick our second team for the
Phone it as
World
a
Cup.
webcam.
We've got all the names in the hat except England. Come on, England!
Come on.
Come on, England! But we're all going to pick a second team who we're going to follow throughout the World Cup, watch for their results, and hope they win it. So,
Did you put England? You
didn't put England in, did you, Sam?
Huh?
Did you put England in the
He's
hat?
very good.
So,
You said England out loud. Barry's the one who told him out loud when I was writing them down, so it's his fault.
basically,
Anyway,
we've got a
by the
hat with the World Cup names in.
It's a top hat.
It's a top hat. It's a
No.
proper app for this sort of thing.
No expense spared.
No expense spared.
this
England
feature.
are in there. I hope someone gets England. So, Penny, who's your second team going to be for the World Cup?
I'm hoping for the Netherlands. I quite like
You
them.
want Germany. We all know it.
Are we opening them up straight away?
Oh.
It's Honduras!
Honduras!
Yes, Honduras.
Here we go. Here we are.
It's Sam's second team.
Oh, I'll give it a turn. I'll give it a mix. Can you hear that mixed in? Mexico!
Mexico! Oh, we're all the Americas.
Alright, here
Some
we
in
go.
Central America.
Come on,
Barry's
Argentina.
second team. Who's it gonna be?
Here we
I
are.
have got South Korea.
South
Yes.
Right, who's gonna hold the hat for me?
2002 semi-finalists.
Here
South
comes
Korea.
Bobby's favourite
The
second
host.
team,
The host with the
England.
most.
Right, let's have a look.
Japan! Yes.
Japan!
Yes.
Alright, come on,
South
Japan.
America.
Wilson
in Asia.
Palacios, he's Honduran, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, and his brother.
And his brother.
Pete. I don't know. He has got a brother in the Honduras team.
I bet his dad's as well.
I don't know his dad, his cousin. Right, so they're the
his
second
cousin's from
teams.
Burnley.
Remember them because I'm going to be
Figueroa.
asking how they're getting on.
So,
Japan.
Bobby, Japan. Payne, Honduras. Sam, Mexico. And Barry, I've got South Korea.
Very
Well,
We've
good.
got some winners at least.
That's me and Bobby out at the first.
Yeah, yeah. Never mind. Right, so boys, I'll leave it. We're going to do. Should we do the England quiz? Do you fancy a bit of a quiz?
Yeah, let's do the quiz.
Let's
straight
do
away.
the quiz.
Let's go in.
Right,
We need a
go
pen,
on.
pen.
How many questions are there?
There are 35 questions for oh no, not 35 questions.
Everyone just tuned them off.
If they're already still listening. This is for our benefit anyway. This is just a bit of fun.
I don't tell them that.
Oh, no.
You can do it at home as well.
You can do it at home, you actually can. And if you're a bit of a football knowledge, it is actually a pretty good quiz, if I do say so myself.
Send us what you got on email.
Email. What's
So-
the email again?
It is peopleonthepitch@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Send us an email.
Send in the scores.
I'm looking at producer Payne because this is his department. Just shrugs his shoulders.
He has no
And
idea.
sends another text. Anyway, I'll have to get my own back. Here come 14 questions on England at the World Cup, and there's a few other things.
Right.
There are a possible 35 points on offer
Ooh,
if you
right.
get everything right, which you probably might struggle to, but
I only got 2 out of 10 for
you got
Leeds.
2 out of 10. And Zabaleta wasn't even the assist
Yeah.
leader; it was Silver. I checked again; it was clean sheets. So you
Did I get?
So you would have come.
No, because he
second.
didn't get that. You gave him a
Oh yeah,
question.
but I gave you that
Yeah.
other one. Never
Come
mind.
on.
That was last week.
Anyway, come.
So here is our Bobby's England World Cup quiz. Question number 1. Who scored England's first goal versus Germany in the 2010 World Cup in South Africa?
Yes, I know it.
Right, your answer. The next question is, who scored England's second?
Against Germany.
Oh, is it no? Oh. In the, no, it wasn't.
Against Germany in the last World Cup. Okay, we
Well, we went
ready to go?
Is that 2 questions?
Yeah,
Is that-
that's you can get 2 points from that question.
Right.
Is it? Oh, was it?
Question number 2.
Inside voice, Sam.
I'm trying to remember. That's the crossbar one, isn't it? Obviously. No.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, just God, blimey,
I was
Sam.
pretty drunk. that
David
night.
Batty. Question number 2. David Batty missed a penalty against Argentina in the 98 shootout. Which former Man United, Liverpool and Inter Milan and Wolves player also missed?
Just give us the answer there.
I didn't want to make it too hard for you.
I
I
appreciate
got
that.
right.
You
Yeah,
got
so-
it.
So I probably wouldn't.
Think
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
All right, carry on.
Man
Bob.
United.
Right, it's a long
Come on, we're
quiz.
not waiting
Man
up for
United,
Sam, are
Liverpool,
we?
Wolves player.
We'll be here all
And
day.
Inter. Okay. Who fouled Michael Owen for the penalty that David Beckham scored to defeat Argentina 1-0 in the World Cup in Japan and South Korea in 2002?
I'm gonna say it.
What again?
Who fouled Michael Owen for the penalty that David Beckham scored to defeat Argentina 1-0 in the World Cup finals in Japan, South Korea in 2002?
Okay.
Okay,
Could be that one.
we good to go?
Yeah.
Number 4, this is the music round. So it's fill in the next line. There are 4 points on offer, and if you get all 4, you get a point extra for getting them all right. So, complete this line from 3 Lions. But I still see that tackle by Moore, and when Lineker scored. Next line.
Oh, bloody hell.
Swear box.
Swear box. Sam's racked up £3 today. It's all for charity though.
That's when they
That's
score.
me for next year's sports relief.
Yeah. Right. This one's for 2 points because this is the World Cup '98 version of 3 Lines again. Same bit, but
Okay.
a different bit. Ince ready for war, Gaza good as before. What's the next bit?
Oh, God.
Say it again.
Ince ready for war. I'll sing Ince ready for war, Gaza good as before.
Oh, it's ready for war, guys.
Inside voice Sam.
Is it that?
No, you've missed the line now.
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
£4. Anyway, are we good for that? Can we move on?
Oh.
Yeah, go for it.
I think I've got it. Right, okay.
Right, this is that one. If you get that right, you get 2 points because I think the World Cup '98 one's harder than the Euro '96 one to remember. Right, so this is the third one. They'll always hit you and hurt you. Defend and attack. There's only one way to beat them. Next line. From basically some people are on the people and on the pitch. Theme music and also New Order in England.
Say it again.
They'll always hit you and hurt you. Defend and attack. There's only one way to beat them.
Yeah. This is D.
Question number 5.
Is this not? Is this the fourth part?
That's there were 3 parts, but you get 2 points for one of them because it's harder.
He's
Question
asking me for answers. It's like being at school.
Question 5. Who is the only English player to win a golden boot at a World Cup? How many goals did he score? And which World Cup was it? So you can get 3 potential points here.
What?
Who is the only English player to win a golden boot at a World Cup? How many goals did he score?
Boom.
And at which World Cup was it? That's for 3 points if you can get
Oh, yeah.
No, is it not?
it. Sam's quizzing a monologue.
Sam, at school, did you sit at the back in the corner and sort
I
of
sat
like-
behind the clever lad and
Booted
kicked
him.
his chair until he put his paper up. That's what I used to do.
You were my worst nightmare. at
That was
school,
my
so.
that was my tactics. I used to stay on the same page as the guy next to me, and then if I'd missed out questions, I'd just go back to him at the end.
Nice.
6. What did Peter Crouch once reply when asked what would he be if he wasn't a footballer? What did Peter Crouch once reply when asked what would he be if he wasn't a footballer?
I'm going to go out on a limb. I beat my Leeds quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2.
What was that one?
Sam, what did Peter Crouch
I'm on 3.
once reply when asked what would he be if he wasn't a footballer?
Oh, I know that. Oh,
Right. Question 7. What was the last? No,
Oh, come on, pick up the pace.
What was the last time there was no Spurs player in an England squad? What was the last time there was no Spurs
read
player
this,
in
like,
an
the
England
other day.
squad?
Yes,
You see, I thought you'd have already read this.
What?
What was the last time there was no Spurs player in an England squad?
When was the last time?
When was the last time? I probably said when at one point.
Wasn't a Spurs player.
Wasn't a Spurs player. It's not one in this squad, and it's happened before. When was the last time it happened before?
I've gone way too far back on
This
this.
is a total. Obviously,
I think it's that one. It's either that one or the one after.
Question 8. How many World Cup goals at the World Cup has Wayne Rooney scored? Not qualifiers.
Ooh.
Hey?
How many World Cup goals at the World Cup, not qualifiers, has Wayne Rooney scored?
Altogether.
Altogether, how many?
Not many. Is it?
He's looking for clues now. He's
Right,
asking
they
me
can't
for
get it.
answers.
Right, we're
You for
moving on.
clues.
It's
9.
I'm sure it's not many. Is that how many it is?
It's
We're on 9?
well, he's only question 9.
I thought we were on 11.
No, we're on
Just
question
come on,
go with it.
keep going.
When was the last time Leeds United had a player playing in an England World Cup squad who was playing for Leeds United at the time? There were 4 in the last time it happened, and I'll give you a point if you can name me the year, 4 points if you can name me the 4 players, and then an extra point if you get all of them.
The last time they were.
Last time Leeds United had players in actively playing for Leeds United at a World Cup.
I think 2 of them scored.
Alright, okay. Oh, and the year.
And the year. For a potential 6 points.
What was his? What was his?
yes.
No, this is. What?
Oh yeah, that's him.
Hang on here.
Come on, boys.
I'll give you all I'll
Okay,
give a
there's
Spurs
4.
question. There's 4 players.
The year
The year.
and the 4
That's
days.
it.
Oh no, this is. Oh, this is.
Payne looks happy about that one. But I'll give you a Spurs question.
Oh, I don't
I'll give
know.
you a Leeds question. I'm going to give Sam a City question.
That's very fair of you.
Number 10. Which goalkeeper was the only Manchester City player to be in the 2006 World Cup party? Which goalkeeper was the only Manchester City player to be in the 2006 World Cup party?
Party.
Well, squad.
2006.
Yeah.
Which what?
Which Manchester City player
Yeah.
and goalkeeper was the only player to be in the 2006 World Cup squad for England?
I've gone out there with that one.
2006.
Wait, he was a goalkeeper then?
Yeah.
Why did it say player and goalkeeper? That's the
Well,
way you said it.
yeah.
It's just.
Was he in it? Who?
Oh.
Well, that's the answer.
I think we'll have to
Oh.
maybe leave the quiz out, but we'll carry on doing it for. I just like doing a quiz every now and then.
Yeah, go on.
So, right, question 11. David Beckham is the only English player to have scored at 3 World Cup finals. Which 3 teams/countries has he scored against? I'll give you a point for each, and there's half a point available because
World Cup final.
as well. Because one of them I thought he'd scored 4, but one of them got ruled as an own goal when I
And he's got 3. Oh yeah.
looked on Wikipedia. But if you can give me the own goal one, I'll give you half a point for that.
Yeah.
So, if you can find
That
it, yeah.
was,
I can only think of two teams.
I've got 2.
Next.
Ooh.
Oh,
Sam,
that sounds
top
right.
of the class.
Guess.
12.
Right. Oh wait. Oh.
You want a bit more time?
Just a couple of seconds.
You can come back to it.
What number did Michael Owen have on his shirt? Don't worry about it. When he scored his famous goal against Argentina. What number did Michael Owen have on the back of his shirt when he scored his famous goal against Argentina?
Yeah.
13. There are 3 players who've scored 3 penalties for England in a penalty shootout. Name them. This is World Cup and Euros. There are 3 players who've scored 3 penalties in a penalty shootout for England. Name them.
The 3 penalties. What?
So basically, these 3 England players have each scored 3 penalties in penalty shootouts for England, and it's the most anyone's scored. But there's
So recent. There's recent. Yeah.
well, it's the 3-way ties. You know what I mean? There's 3 players. I can't tell you how recent or far away it was, but his first penalty shootout was in 1990. So
3.
Taking educated guesses at that.
Yeah. And
Right. Next question. Who has the most yellow cards for England Who has the most yellow
Ever.
cards for England ever?
Huh? The
Who
most
has
yellow
the most
cards?
yellow cards for England ever? If you're really struggling, I can give you a clue.
It might give us a bit of direction to which decade.
Think logically.
Well, I was trying to do that anyway.
Think logically. Who has the most yellow cards for England?
Alright.
Logically.
Joe Barton. Right.
Oh god, is that? That could be some.
We're moving on in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Name the 2 players who've been sent off for England twice. There's only 2, and at least one of them for both players has been at the World Cup.
Two players who've been sent off twice
For England.
in the World Cup.
Not just the World Cup, all England games.
Is all these questions?
No, the ones that aren't, I've told you, just the penalty shootout and
Alright.
the bookings and this one. Right, last question.
Right.
If you took all the L's and all the A's out of Adam Lallana's surname, how would you say his surname?
What?
If you took all the L's and all the A's out of Adam Lallana's surname, how would you say his surname?
I thought there was only 14 questions.
There was.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Right, then,
It
let's go.
takes a bit of time when
Top-
you have
take
to...
all the L's out of what?
L's and A's out of his name. How do you say it?
The whole
Do you want me to go over
The whole
questions?
name or just
Ask
surname?
you- Baby, no.
Just the surname.
Right, everyone passed your...
Just the surname.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not passing. We're not going round.
Yeah, I'm not even cheating. Not
It's
cheating,
not-
mate.
we're not going to cheat.
Alright,
Got 10. We know
So,
Sam's got 1.
the answers.
Right.
There's a possible 2 points up for grabs here. Who scored England's first goal against Germany in the 2010
I'll have you
World
know,
Cup final?
I was at Glastonbury watching Ray Davis when this game was on.
Right. Who scored?
John Terry?
No.
Upson.
Upson.
I knew it was a defender.
I put John Terry.
And it were no one. We didn't score a second goal.
Yeah, you get a point for no one or a point for
Lampard.
Lampard. You can have no one or Lampard. Who have you got, Sam? Never mind.
I put Gerrard.
Oh, no. That's wrong. David Batty missed the penalty. Who missed the other one?
The governor.
Paul Ince.
Paul Ince. 1 point if you've got Paul
Didn't get
Ince.
it.
Who fouled Michael Owen for the penalty?
Was it that Newcastle defender?
No.
Simeone.
No.
Mascherano.
No, it was Pochettino,
Was
Southampton manager.
Was it?
And
Oh, there you go.
He's got insanely long hair as well.
Oh.
He's like got hair like Dean McCallis. It's well funny.
The new Tottenham manager.
Fill in the next line of 3 Lions. You remember there's 5 points on offer if you got all right. But I still see that tackle by Moore and when Lineker scored.
And Nobby dancing.
No.
Bobby Belts in the ball.
Bobby Belts in the ball.
And then Nobby
I
dancing.
am Bobby. Bobby Moore. Down.
You can have half a
I knew
point.
what? I knew something
You
about
can have
what
half
Bobby
a
was
point
in
for
there.
Bobby. Ince ready for war, Gaza good as before.
Shearer ready for more?
Oh, Shearer certain to score.
Minutes I know he can play.
Yeah, maybe.
Half
Half a point for that,
Yeah,
Barry. You
half.
can have half a point for getting the surname.
Bloody hell.
They'll always hit you and you defend and attack. There's only one way to beat them.
It's round the back.
Round the back.
Sam got one.
Right,
Okay.
golden boot. So you get.
I'm sure I've got
Well,
this
you
right.
don't. Golden boot. How many goals? Which World Cup?
Lineker.
Yeah,
Yeah. Good.
86.
yeah,
6 goals.
yeah. Payne's got the hat trick. So you get an extra point as well, Payne, for
I didn't know.
getting all 3.
Well,
That's-
Lineker 6, I put 90.
Oh, unlucky.
86.
I
Makes it
I
great.
was thinking Lineker as well.
Did you write it down?
No.
Heinous.
Has he got a hat trick against Cameroon?
Owen down.
Yeah, he got a hat trick against Cameroon
It's got like
in
five,
Italian
Two
90.
again. Yeah.
He got an hat trick against Poland in 86.
I put Owen down.
Owen?
Owen.
I don't know.
What? Never mind. What did Peter Crouch once reply when asked what would he be if he wasn't a footballer?
Alone.
A virgin.
Virgin.
A virgin.
Oh, come on, I've got to have that.
No, you can't have that, mate.
Alone. As in like alone, girlfriendless.
He said
It's the same
You
thing.
don't get a point.
Half a point.
You could have a quarter of a point if you
Sam's
Taking
taking
that.
anything he can get.
for getting the wrong answer. When was the last time that no Spurs player were in an England squad?
I read this the other day and I just can't remember. I went for 1974.
1952.
No,
Six.
54.
I've crossed that out!
Oh, Payne crossed it out.
Oh!
I changed my answer about 8 times, so I can't even read what it is now. I think there might have been a 5 under that. I think I changed it to 1994 in the
You
end.
can have another quarter of a point for getting a 5.
Look, I think I put a 5 under the. Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
How many World Cup goals has Wayne Rooney scored? How many goals has he scored in the World Cup, Wayne
Is it
Rooney?
1 against
Three.
Macedonia?
No.
7.
0.
He's never scored in the World Cup.
He scored a lot in
Sugar.
qualifiers.
Not scored.
So top scorer in
I mean,
qualifiers,
it's just. I think it's
Some
just one of them
Euros
things.
scored.
He was. I think
He
he's
had a
been
bad
injured.
season in 2010. He'd just come back
And
from
he's been
injury time
injured
before.
in both of them. So
Yeah.
I'm not having a pop.
Didn't
That's no.
Well,
I'm looking forward to this next one.
His first World Cup.
I'm hoping I've got it all right.
He's fit. He did Euro 2002. He scored against Croatia in that. 2006, he didn't score. I don't think. 2012, he didn't score. No, he's not scored. He's only been to 2 World Cups. Right? When was the last time Leeds United had players playing in an England World Cup squad? Who were there?
2002.
2002's the
Oh,
year.
you cunt.
Danny Mills.
Oh!
You get the big money out. You nearly a fiver.
Well, you passed the 5.
Danny Mills.
Danny Mills is one of them.
Yeah.
You
Rio
got that.
Ferdinand.
Rio Ferdinand's another.
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane's Irish.
Yeah, but he played. He was
Yeah,
playing
he's
for Leeds
England.
and at the World Cup.
He's
And
England.
Lucas Radebe.
No, England
Who for
players.
England?
Oh, I didn't hear the England
Woodgate.
players.
No,
Smith.
no.
Nigel Martin.
Paul
Nigel
Robinson.
Martin is one.
David Batty.
No. The
I
other.
put 2002 and then changed it to 2006.
Nicky Barmby.
No, shall I tell you? Robbie Fowler.
Oh,
Robbie
yeah.
Fowler.
Who is it?
I just had Robbie Keane
the
and
four?
I'll
So
give
the
you
4 were Ferdinand Mills,
Ferdinand.
Fowler, and Martin.
I had Batty
And- Lucas Radebe scored, and Robbie Keane was the last Leeds player to score in a World Cup.
All right, very good. Thanks for that knowledge, Payne.
That's why I've got them in my head.
Can
So
I have
we
half?
get 2.
Can I have half
And
point
there's
for
one
changing it from 2002 to 2006?
No, I've just given
I'm having
you.
half a point.
All right, fine.
I get 2 for Mills and Martin.
Yeah, and if you got the year, you get a
I didn't get the year.
Which goalkeeper was the only Man City player to be in the 2006 World Cup party?
James.
Correct,
James.
David James.
I went for Richard Wright.
David Beckham, the only English player to score in 3 World Cups. Name the 3 teams he scored against.
Definitely no 2.
Colombia,
Colombia is one.
Argentina.
Is another.
I didn't get the third.
I put
USA?
Japan,
No.
Is that the own goal
Japan,
one?
Germany, or Italy.
The own goal one was Paraguay, and
Yeah.
the other one was Ecuador. Free kick.
Rubbish.
2.
I have no idea what number he had on his back.
Oh, I think, yeah.
Go on. Owen's shirt number
20.
20. Correct.
20!
Went with 24.
I was going to put 20 down, and I put 28 down.
Sam, did you finish school?
Eh?
So angry.
Never mind, mate.
Angry.
Never
When I
mind.
finished school, I didn't bloody listen.
You didn't-
He swore again.
Stop swearing. I'm getting
Right,
angry
right.
now.
Yeah.
It's a stupid quiz.
We're nearly there, mate. There are 3 players who've all scored 3 penalties for England in penalty shootouts. Name them.
This is a
Lampard, Gerrard, and Shearer.
Shearer is one.
Yes.
Owen.
Owen is another.
Oh,
Sheringham.
Ashley Cole.
No.
Sheringham.
Sheringham.
Platt. David Platt.
Platt,
Is
Owen,
that a
and
point
Shearer.
each or
Platt,
what?
Owen, and Shearer.
Is that a point each or not?
Well, you get a point for the ones you've got out of Shearer, Platt, and Owen.
I mean, yeah, Owen's hit some.
Tell you what, this next one, you
Who has the most yellow cards for England?
Skulls.
Ashley Cole.
Gerard.
It's David Beckham.
I was going to put
17.
Beckham.
17 yellow
Beckham.
cards. That's why I said think logically.
Yeah, I
I
was
thought.
thinking Beckham.
I was
played
thinking
the
who's
most
played the
for
most.
England.
Ashley Cole's got a fair few caps.
Name the 2 players who've been sent off twice for England.
Rooney and Beckham.
Correct.
Rooney, I got Beckham.
If you took all the L's and the
Rooney.
A's out of Vladimir Lallana's name, how would you say his surname? Adamant.
Adamant.
Adamant. So give yourself a point for that. Right. Tot up your scores.
Cover us, Bobby.
Yeah. I think, Payne, you're the only one who got an extra point for any, and that was for the World Cup question. So give yourself an extra point for that.
That's 17, I think.
17.
Ooh. Oh, 17 and a half. Yes!
Do I get a half point for crossing out the
No,
right
I got
answer?
Sorry, Sam.
18.
I got a half for Shearer, ready for more.
Do I get a half for crossing out the right answer to the Tottenham answer?
No,
No,
He gets one for putting a 5 down.
yeah, but it's never in doubt, is it?
Oh, well.
It's not gonna
I got 5.
Gonna be calling for a recount.
Well, that's the England quiz, and that's the end of the show.
Stupid quiz,
We'll
stupid
see
show.
you for more World Cup specials.